Welcome back to another fantastic property tour, Rankin family. Today, we are located in Scottsdale, Arizona again, looking at another gorgeous luxury home, and this time we have a model home by Shea Homes. Now, starting on the exterior, family, we do have that desert contemporary look. You do have the stucco along with some natural stone accents and that beautiful accent straight ahead. Now, right over here to the left, you have your 3-car garage that is currently operating as the sales office. But if this was your primary residence, of course, you have a driveway leading you to it. Now, as we do continue right over here, you have this beautiful Zen-like area. Now, what's fascinating, after touring 5+ homes so far here in Arizona, that is the one thing that has been a commonality, is this gorgeous contemporary look, so you can take advantage of the incredible mountains. So you can see that, and I really love that. Now, as we continue right over here, look at this walkway leading you to your courtyard. Now, right over here, you are going to have this massive front door with the glass panes inside. That's going to enter you straight ahead into this walkway, and then look at the courtyard right here. Beautiful, plenty of space, as you can see, so you still have the ability to take advantage of the sun, but then you still have the privacy element, and so I really love that. Not to mention, straight ahead, you're going to have your Casita, so this is going to be a perfect meeting place if you do have your in-laws staying with you, and I love it. So without further ado, let's get you into the Casita, and then we'll make our way around the property. All right. So right when we walk in, this is exactly what you're greeted with. So you have quartzite countertops, you have the shelving right above there. And then as I turn you around, you can see the full scope of the living area. Perfect. So you have plenty of windows inside of here. You have wood floors, as you can see, with that stained oak look. And I really love that. But now heading to the bedroom. All right, so look at the size of this. King size bed, your 2 nightstands, as you can see, your elegant light fixture hanging down. You got an egress window and a ton of walk room. I love that. And then you are gonna have the separate closet from the bathroom. So plenty of space inside of there, as you can see. And look at the bathroom here. Love that. So you have a walk-in shower. You see our matte black shower wand and shower head. And then right behind there, you have a shower niche too. So really extremely functional, as you can see, plenty of space to work with. And I know your guests or in-laws will appreciate this. Okay, so we just seen the Casita. Now let's go ahead and go inside the main house. So let me know what you think about that tan stucco that we've been seeing out here. I mean, is that something that you like? It is common, really creating that uniformity and elegance at the same time. So I know you can really appreciate that too. All right. So as soon as you enter in the foyer, look at this. You already see the incredible views straight ahead right there. We'll get to that in just a moment. I'll turn you right over here to the left so you can see the formal dining. Look at the space that you have right over here. Okay, so immediately you have this elegant light fixture right above your dining table. Plenty of space. You see the walk room that you have. I love when we see it furnished because it gives you the best idea, at least, of the room sizes. So in here you have 10-foot ceilings, except for the great room, you're going to see the 12-foot ceilings, and it really creates that roomier atmosphere that we so much love. Now we'll start on this side. So you have your built-in flat panel cabinet doors right over here, perfect for your decor. And then your powder bath right over here. So your guests don't need to walk too far, and they head right over here. You see the under cabinet lighting right there, natural stone countertops, and that accent wall. And then you head down this hallway right over here, and then you head to your additional 2 bedrooms. Now, depending on your preference or how you choose to optimize the floor plan itself, you can add an additional bedroom right here. So you'll have 3 all right next to one another. So depending on how many folks you have living with you, if you have a few kiddos, that's going to determine if you are going to, choose that option. Now, you have a king size bed, your 2 nightstands. You see your sitting area over here. You have an additional desk, and you still have a lot of space. So one of the roomier rooms that we're going to see, I like the way that sounds, roomier rooms that we're going to see, except for, of course, the primary suite. Now, again, in here, spacious walk-in closet, as you can see. You got an additional window that's going to overlook the front yard, as you can see. Love that. So at the time of this recording, the floor plan in this community is starting at 1.9, a little bit over that. And that's the base price, of course, depending on your options, structural upgrades that you decide to, utilize or at least add to your property is going to determine the ultimate price. It's always hard to price the actual model without being misleading or something like that. So oftentimes you may see that plus at the end of a price, and that's the reason for that. Now, in here, you got your quartz countertops. You see the matte black again. You got your sleek mirror frame, and then your additional mirror right there. So I love that. Not only do you have the Casita, right? Because oftentimes if we go into a bedroom or a house rather, and it has a large bedroom close to the front door, that's typically going to be the guest suite, or at least that's the common use for that particular bedroom. But in this instance, there's a lot of versatility. Now, you see that we have the king size bed again, your 2 nightstands, but look at the space that you have on both sides of the nightstands. You have a ton of room right there. You have an accent wall, your egress window straight ahead, and then you see your dresser. Now we have a closet right here. And I think that's one thing you may like as well, because based on, the feedback over the last few years or so, that's always been the commonality, having the closet separated from the bathroom, but other folks don't really mind. So as we start to gain new viewers, I always like to gauge the feedback in the comments. So I encourage you to do so. All right, so similar vanity as you can see right here, but I love the space that you get inside of the room. And then we haven't even gotten to the meat and potatoes of the property. So we'll get to that in just a moment. All right, so right here to the right, you do have a den. Again, you see the versatility. A lot of folks are going to have it as it is. You're going to use it as an office, maybe possibly add some sliding doors here, depending on if you like it open or if you want your privacy. But again, a ton of space in here. You got sliding doors leading you to your yard right there as well. And then you even have a little patio area that you can take advantage of. So initial impressions, at least touring these homes in Arizona, is folks love their peace of mind out here. So let me know if you're noticing that theme as well. And then of course you got your built-ins right over here. Now, what you all been waiting for, the grand reveal. Let's see it. Stunning, family. So like I mentioned, the 12-foot ceilings in here, you see the exposed beams, that nice minimalist look that folks are looking for here in 2025 and head into 2026. Now you are going to have those modern chandeliers hanging down. Look at the contemporary fireplace right here. Huge. Love that. You have your additional shelving right there to the right, as you can see. Wait till we get right behind the fireplace. You'll see a game room that you can take advantage of, or you can use it for whatever you'd like. But now, again, you see the sliding doors. You have an additional sliding door right over there in our breakfast nook. We'll get to that in just a second. But look at the space that you have in here. Perfect for entertaining, hosting, as I always talk about. Beautiful. So in here, look how nice these quartzite counters look inside of the kitchen, family, especially with the waterfall, even the accent lighting right underneath here. You got your bar area, and then look at the length that you have. So heading in here, look at the space again. You have Thermador appliances. You have an ice maker right over here, 2-tone cabinets. You see the Thermador range. You got your pot filler right above there. And then, of course, the sleek flat panel cabinet doors again. So let's open up some of these and see how much space we have. So you got your pull-out drawers right over here. As you can see, you can add all the spices that you need. Some additional shelving right above here. And then I'll turn you around so you can see the depth of the drawers. Impressive. And then again, you see the sink inside of the island right here, and this is your incredible view. Perfect. Now, straight ahead right over here, heading to our breakfast nook. Look at the size again. You see, you can add 2 additional chairs for a 10-seater dining table without any worries, and you still have a ton of walk room. Then you see the Thermador wine fridges on both sides. Again, estimation 60 to 90 bottles depending on the size. So you have adequate storage. And again, this is a model house, so some of these things may be unnecessary for you. So if they are, you can exclude those. Love it. So look at the depth that you have in here. We haven't even gotten to the refrigerator. And you know we always have to open that up. And then you have some additional cabinets to the right of it. Plenty of space to work with in there. And I know, especially me, I'm always a huge fan of the panel ready appliances, just the sleekness. And especially when you see it quite often, you really have no other choice but to fall in love with it. So let me know if you would use that. Now heading inside of our pantry right here, family, look at the size, plenty of space to work with to store all of your dry goods. Again, you see the glass panes in your cabinet fronts right there. Add in that elegance. You see you have an access point right over here to your formal dining, so extremely practical. And then heading here to your laundry room. Wow. So right over here, you see the herringbone pattern tiling that we have. Again, the under cabinet lighting, quartz countertops, plenty of counter space. You have a ton of room for your oversized washer and dryer. You have an additional sink, and then you see the wall-to-wall cabinetry. And then of course, this is going to lead you to your 3-car garage that is operating as a sales office, like I mentioned earlier. So we're going to leave that one alone right there. Okay, so we've seen that. Trust me, I'm going to get you over there right behind the fireplace. So make sure you stay tuned. We're going to work our way around the perimeter. So we'll head straight over here. Look at the separation between the kitchen to your primary suite. Okay, love this. So again, the exposed beams in here, elegant chandelier right above your king size bed. Look at the chairs that you have, and you still have a ton of breathing room. So I'll stand on this angle so you can see the full scope. You see your elegant sconces. Those are adjustable as well. You have your egress windows and then a picture window overlooking your backyard. Now, this one's going to be open, but of course you can always add that sliding door. I love how elegant that usually looks. But if your preference is that open ensuite, no worries. Now in here, you see the quartzite countertops again. You have a pendant light, your 3 mirrors with that sleek mirror frame, and then your rectangular freestanding soaker tub. Lovely. Right over here to the right, you have a spacious water closet. But look at the size of a walk-in shower. And you know my favorite word right there, that 0 threshold. And then over here you have your shower niche and then a rain shower head right above there. So plenty of space to work with. Now I want to show you the primary closet. Okay, I'm gonna close this right here. So you have carpet in the primary closet, but you have stacked cabinets, a ton of shelving to work with. You see your built-in drawers over here. And then as I turn you around, you even have some additional space, and it wraps around that corner right there. So again, as I talk about all the time, I'm a fan of the his and hers closets, but when you have a massive primary closet as big as this one, you may not really need that. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And then before we continue, I'll open this up for you. So you got your towel closet over here. and then all this soft closing mechanism. And then as we pan right back out here to the great room in the kitchen, look at the incredible view. Wonderful. All right, now as promised, right behind the fireplace, you do have a game room. So depending if you're using this as the family room, then that's going to determine what you're going to use this as. But look at the size of this one too. So perfect for entertaining and hosting, right? So depending on the family members that are over there in the great room in the kitchen, you can extend over here. You already have a sink, your built-in floating shelves right there. You have a beverage fridge as well. And I love how discreet that is. Sometimes if you're going throughout this floor plan and you're going fast, you may have missed this one. So love that. But let's go ahead and get you in the backyard, family. So as you can see right over here, you have 8-foot sliders. So they are massive, and I love that. Look at the size of that pool right there, family. The mountain right in your backyard. Oh my goodness. So starting right here, again, open up the sliders in the game room, the great room, as well as your breakfast nook, and have that indoor-outdoor living, especially with some wonderful weather like it is today. Look at this. So you got your stainless steel fireplace right over here. That is gas. And look at the depth of the yard. Now, again, this is the model home. They aren't selling it just yet, at the time of this recording at least. But if it's something where you are interested and you take a look at the area and you like the area, take a look at their inventory homes. I think you may like it. Now, here you have the unfilled travertine floors right over here. You have the walkway leading you to this beautiful pool. You have an additional area straight ahead right over there. Love to see that. You see the fountain features. If you want to get a tan, barely any clouds right now, so this will be the perfect day to do that. Now we'll continue right over here to see our gazebo. So you have your beverage fridge right over here, as you can see. You have some additional counter space. You see that natural stone extends here, and then your cedar ceiling right here. But look at the size and look at the scope and the privacy that you have. But other than that, family, that was another beautiful luxury home tour. All right, Rankin family, that was it for this beautiful luxury home right here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Let me know in the comments what you thought about this particular model. Is this something you can see yourself living in? Would you make any changes? If so, let me know in the comments below. Of course, if you want more information about this home or any home we showcase, reach out to the information in the description. Consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss a tour every single week. And I'll see you folks on the next property tour.